The 2018-2019 NSOI applications are out. That being said, I wanted to release a video about the questions I've been getting asked and just like the process in general and tips and advice. Just to give a little bit of background, I went on a study abroad program this summer in Korea for free, for completely free, and I was able to take intensive language courses and immerse myself in the culture as a whole and live with the host family. I applied 3 times to this program actually, so like to those who are like scared of getting rejected and stuff, you can always apply again. And if you're a senior and you're applying and you can't apply for the following year, you can always do CLS, which is the college version of NSOI. So there's like a lot of options for you to do. And just don't be afraid of getting rejected or anything like that, just do it. I've been through the process multiple times. I didn't get through any rounds the first time. I got to semifinalist round the second time, and I got through the third time. So like there's a lot of things I learned like through the whole process and going through it multiple times and talking to alumni and stuff. So hopefully I can help y'all in some way. The application opened on August 25th and it's due on November 2nd. So that being said, you have a lot of time, but please at least open your application and just look at it. Like just make sure you know what's required and that you're getting things done on time, even if you don't actually like start writing the essays. So what are the requirements? You have to be a US citizen first off, and you have to be between 15 to 18 years old at the start of the program. So if you're 14 right now, but you'll turn 15 by a certain date, somewhere over here, you'll be eligible to apply. You can't be a family member of someone employed at the US Department of State or someone employed at an NSOI organization. You also can't have recently traveled on a study abroad program. More details are right here because I'm not really sure about that. But yeah, so those are the only requirements. You don't have to know the language beforehand. So you can be a complete beginner and apply. Like I only knew the alphabet and like hello and thank you and like I love you and like mom and dad. So like don't worry too much. You don't need to know anything. I know people who didn't know Hangul. You're gonna be fine. What is the application like? Make an account on the AIS website. You can go to like NSIforyouth.org / like how-to-apply. I'll put like a link somewhere. But you click on like start my application and it'll take you to a different page where you will make your account. Like if you first look at the application, it looks really intimidating, but I swear to you it's not. It's actually like the majority of it is just basic information. So like the first 6 points is just like information, and then like about you, school information, family information, so like it's no big deal. And then it asks you about your international experience, and in that a lot of people ask like, oh, will me going to study abroad like increase my chances, decrease my chances? It'll aid your application. I'm not gonna say it will increase or decrease your chances, but showing that you have traveled and traveled abroad before, like it does show that you have what it takes to be like independent. It could add a point to your application, is what I'm saying. Personal information, so activities, awards, interests, photos. A lot of people worry about like what photos they put, but like don't worry too much about it. I'm not sure if they actually show it to people or not, but I'll put the pictures that I chose like right here. And then like my caption is just like, oh, this is me at Disneyland with my friend. And then I'll be like, I'm the one on the right. And then like the other pictures like, this is me at a club banquet. I'm the one. Oh wait, no, I'm on the left in Disneyland picture, and then I'm on the right in my club picture. So yeah, like it doesn't really matter what photos you choose. Don't stress too much about it. It asks you more statistical information. Like they ask for a transcript. You have to get your official transcript. So you can do that by going to your school and asking them how they handle official transcripts, because each school does it differently, so I'm not really sure. Terms and conditions and recommendation requests, so teacher recommendations. So people ask like, oh, like what teacher should I get to write my recommendation? Should I do a language teacher even if she doesn't know me that well, blah 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 blah, so forth. I think I would just recommend a teacher that knows you well and can attest to your skills and you as a person. So this is a language program, and that being said, if your language teacher knows you enough to write a good recommendation about your skills in learning a language, that would be great. But if you have a language teacher and you think you're just going to ask her just because she's a language teacher but she doesn't know you that well, it won't help your application at all. I would recommend getting a teacher that knows you well over a language teacher that doesn't know you well. Please ask your teachers before they get bombarded with college recommendation letters. So ask them way in advance so they aren't too busy for you. Parent statement. So basically it's like a parent letter recommendation. For those who are worried because their parents like don't speak English well and whatnot, don't stress out too much about it. You can like help, like don't write it for them, but like have them sit there and then have them say what they want to say, and then you can write it down like in English. Like it's okay, because like I know like some parents don't know English and stuff like that, so don't worry about that too much either. It's just to show that your parents support like that you're doing this, and to show that they're willing to let you go abroad as well. And if your parents are so iffy, just tell them that you apply, and like if you get it and they don't want you to get it, you can just turn down the notification. So in that way they'll still write you the parent recommendation, you know? Just try to get them to write it to the best of their ability, show that they support you. You have 3 options. Is it still 3? I don't know if it's still 3 or if it's 2 now, but like you can choose which program and what duration you want. So you can say, oh, I want Korean summer, and then I want Korean year, and then I want Chinese summer. So that's where you gotta put your preference, and there is a pretty big part of your application, I think, where it asks you why you chose what you chose, and that's where you talk about why. Sorry, I'm talking a lot about Korean because I want a Korean summer, so just fill in the blanks with where you want to go. So I'll be like, oh, I chose Korean summer because, and so forth. Self-introduction to your host family and your language instructors. So this is where you write like a letter. So a lot of people are scared, like, do I write this formally, do I write this non-formally, blah blah blah. I would say write it how you write. Just make it sound like you talking. So like don't worry about making it too casual or too formal. Like I'm not saying like go wild and like make it like super like unprofessional. But for me I wrote like dear language instructors and dear host family and language instructors, comma. And I just went on to be like blah blah blah, like my name's blah and I was blah 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 blah, and like they give you like an outline of what they want you to say. So just follow that outline and add details where you find necessary or where you want to add stuff. Essays. So there's 2 essays if you're doing a summer program and 3 essays if you're doing a year-long program. So the first essay is always a basic essay, like I think it's like list and explain 3 reasons why you want to do NSOI. So really think about your reasons and really think like why do you want to do this program? Why do you want to go on a program where the main focus is to learn a language? Why do you want to learn the language? For me personally, I didn't focus on why I wanted to learn the specific language here. I put that focus on my program preference essay, and then for this one I just wrote about why I wanted to learn language in general and why I wanted to study abroad. So yeah. The second essay is just like a way for you to talk more about how you talk about like how you are as a person, but how have you applied those skills in real life. So they're mostly like kind of leadership-y kind of questions, almost like Common App questions. I know last year like what was a problem you faced and how'd you fix it, name a time where you were wrong, something like that. So yeah, so just do something where it fits you the best and where you have a place to be able to show yourself. Essays are like a major part of your application. I would say it's like the main thing almost, but just tell stories that are true to you and that show your abilities in different ways and show that you're ready to be on a study abroad program. So language experience. So you don't need to know language. Like again, like people who go on the NSY trip, it's for them to learn the language. So there's a wide range of people ranging from like beginner to like totally like fluent. Like anyone can be in the program and anyone can apply, and it won't ruin your chances if you don't have experience, and it won't ruin your chances if you do have experience. So if you do select that you have had experience in the language before, that you have been taught it, then you will have to take an OPI, which is an oral proficiency interview, and basically that's to assess how your skills in the language are before the program, and they'll see how it is after the program. So once you're done with the application, hopefully you submit it like at least the day before. I know a lot of people are gonna wait last minute. Please don't do that. You get stressed out, and because that was me. but just try to submit it at least, why is my hair so weird? Okay, at least a day before. But yeah. Once you submit your application, you wait, and then around, I think, December 1st, December 2nd, you get notified whether or not you're a semi-finalist. From there, you will be contacted for an interview in either late December or January. Late March to early April is when you get your finalist notification. So it comes on a rolling basis, so some programs get theirs earlier than other programs. Personally for Korean, it comes out on, I think, April 1st, April 2nd is the usual. So yeah, just be patient with waiting. Don't reread your application after you submit it. Like, don't stress yourself out, okay? So in general, these are just questions that people have asked me, so I'll just answer it now. So what do they look for from the FAQ on the NSY alumni page? But I do recommend you join both Ask NSY Alumni and NSY Applicants 2012-2013. It says 2012-2013, but people have been using it as the years go on. They look for maturity, open-mindedness, and interest in language learning. Yeah. I know a lot of people think that like juniors and seniors have a better chance, but it's just because age sometimes correlates with maturity, but it doesn't have to. That if you can show that you're mature and that you're independent enough to travel, then they're definitely going to take that into account. We had someone who's 15 on our program. We had 16s. We had 17. We had 18. We had everyone. So like, don't worry about what grade you're in. Just show that you can be on this program and that you're ready and you're prepared and you're independent and you're mature enough to be able to like have all this freedom that you will on this program. How easy is it to get accepted? There's about an acceptance rate of 15 to 17%, I would say. In 2014 to 2015, there were 3,600 applicants, 1,285 semifinalists, and then 600 finalists. So yeah. I was wondering whether you applied for the summer. Did you make the summer your first preference or your second? Did you put Korean in your program prefs? And what grade were you in when you applied? For me, I applied, my first time I applied Korean summer, and then Chinese summer, and then Korean year. And then the second time I applied, I did Korean summer, Chinese summer, and then the third time I applied, I did Korean summer. What was your level of Korean before and after the program? Like I said before, I was a beginner. I put that I didn't know any Korean, but I didn't know the alphabet, so Hangul, and then I didn't know like things you learn off like K-drama and K-pop, stuff like that. So like 안녕하세요, and like 안녕하세요, like 사해, 감사합니다, like stuff like that. Like it's very simple. Everyone ranges, so like don't worry about your level of Korean at all. I do recommend you, if you're doing Korean, I recommend you learn the alphabet first because they do go through that like really, really fast. What was the OPI like? Did you speak Korean the whole time? Also, what if your Korean isn't that great? Like I said before, I didn't have to take the OPI because I put that I didn't have any knowledge of the language beforehand. I actually have my OPI tomorrow, so it's my post-program one. But I didn't have to take one before, so. Can you give tips on the essay portion? I'm not a very good writer and I'm nervous. Honestly, me too. I am a sucky writer. I am a STEM person. I am not an English person. That being said, just write like how you talk. Yeah. I think just being able to, like, you don't have to use like creative language. You have a word limit and like you don't want to be like, the sun was shining and like the wind was blowing through my hair. Like, don't force yourself to be like super creative with your essays or like super like, like just show your passion while you're writing, and you can do that by maybe talking, saying it out loud first if you're like a talking person, or like, yeah, just don't be afraid to rewrite it if you don't like it. Just have other people read it for you. I know a lot of alumni are willing to read it for you. I'm willing to read it for you. Like, honestly, I'm not like the best writer, so I'm not sure if I'm like fit for that. But a lot of alumni would read over it for you, edit it for you, tell you like what you should add, what you shouldn't add. Just be happy with what you're putting out. Like for me, like honestly, I want to be on NSY because, and I just did that for 3 points, like 3 paragraphs. And I got it, so. Like, I'm not a good writer, but I showed that I really wanted to do it. Could you give some tips and advice in general for applying? I wrote this thing a while back on one of my comments, but I'll just say it again. You have to write 3 essays, so do that. Show them that you're passionate about learning the language, that you'll use what you learn in the future, and that you're mature enough to handle the independence. I think those are the 3 components that they're really, really looking for. But then again, the NSOI process is always very blurry. So yeah. Tips in general, just don't be afraid to reach out when you need help. Don't be afraid to ask questions, and just don't be afraid in general. I'm just gonna say this, if you're applying for Korean, don't be a Korea boo. I'm just saying that because I know a lot of people, like, they just want to do this program because they want to meet their oppas. I love K-pop and K-culture. Oh my god. I'm like, No, you're gonna have to do it for the language because it's intensive. It's intensive language courses. You're gonna be going classes Monday through Friday from early morning to afternoon. Okay, I'm not gonna hate on anyone who likes K-pop K-drama. I like K-pop K-dramas. But just find other reasons to express. Like, use that as a motivation to dig deeper on why you like the Korean language as a whole. Like, why did you get into K-pop and K-drama? Was it because the language, you really like the way it sounds, like the way it flows, the different alphabet? Like, just find different reasons why, and don't make K-pop or K-drama one of your reasons why you want to do NSY. Does being unemployed decrease your chances? And does not being involved much in school decrease your chances? Maybe if you're employed, it will like show that you're mature and that you have responsibility. So yeah, that could up your chance, but not being employed does not lower your chances. Okay, so I asked my Songdo group, does not being involved much in school clubs decrease your chances? Sophia wrote, actually, I don't know if it would decrease your chances, but clubs definitely help. And Jenny said, I think it plays a factor, but if you can emphasize passion for language learning and culture appreciation, it can be overlooked if you're not involved. So yeah. Do you think your grades impacted your chances? No, I don't think it upped my chances. You only have to have I think it's a 2.5 minimum GPA. So it's not that high of a requirement. Like, you don't need to be like the smartest person in the world. I think everyone who was there though, I'm not gonna say like everyone had like a super high GPA or anything, but just that they were passionate about learning. And I think that's a really big factor in this program. Your GPA doesn't matter, but having like a curiosity and like being like, I guess, intellectually driven does. Could you give some words of motivation for people who are applying? Don't look at the application and stress so much. I know for me, I actually made a Google folder with my NSOI like applications, so I could like break it down. So I would be like first essay, and then I would write the question on top for my Google Doc. So I would have like all that space to brainstorm and then to write my essay off of that. I would say write down like bullet points first before you start your essay, and see if where you're headed is where you want to end up. Personally, like, I didn't reach out to alumni, and I really wish I did. I really wish I had them to edit my essays because I know a lot of people really appreciate the help that alumni gave them. So please don't be afraid to reach out. Everyone wants to help. I freaking love talking about my Korean trip, so if you have any questions, feel free to ask me. Just don't be afraid of not getting in the first time either. Just do everything beforehand. Like, I know everyone's gonna be last minute, but like, or a lot of people will, but just at least think about it. At least think about what you want to write, and just put a lot of your effort and your passion into the essay, and show that you really want to do this, because it is intensive and it is going to take a lot of time and effort, and you will go through that W curve. We'll talk about I will insert, like, but seriously, a worth the experience, and don't let the application like deter you from applying. Like, you should do it. It's not that hard in the long run. For that kind of experience, it's completely worth it. So I wish you guys the best of luck, and I know you guys are gonna do great, and feel free to ask me if you need anything.